If you can come on this app, beg, whine, and start GoFundMes, and you should be able to go and apply for a fucking job. And I mean that. How can you come on this app and complain about you're not getting assistance or stamps? And it's the main ones who are able to work, but they're choosing not to work. What type of shit is that? There are people in this country who can't work, can't walk, can't do none of that, but they're surviving and making ends meet. I don't know what is wrong with some of y'all on this app, but y'all need to go out there and get a job. Stop depending on other people to take care of you. That is not how this life works. Get a job, go and work, take care of your children, and do what you're supposed to do. Stop trying to live off other people and live off the government, because there are people who really deserves it and they don't get much. But the ones who can work, they get thousands and thousands of dollars in government assistance. It does not make sense. Stop complaining.
So I'm just going to say what everyone is thinking. I don't care that you're losing your food stamps. I don't care that you're losing your free medical. I don't care that you are losing your free housing. Now y'all are just getting a taste of what every other person is going through. I should not have to pay to feed you and your 9 children. I'll be the selfish one. My kid comes first in my eyes, not you. I'm going to give you a prime example of how broken this freaking system is. My son was in a very, very severe motorcycle accident involving a tow truck. We were in the hospital for almost a month. As a single mom with no support, and before any of you come at me about the single mom thing, no, I didn't expect myself to be a single mother, but you know what? Shit happens. Being a single mother with no freaking support, that is a month, actually over a month of lost wages over something that was completely out of our control. I was told by case management in the hospital, hey, the only way that your city is going to offer you any type of assistance is if you have an eviction notice. The only way that you're going to get help paying your bills because of these lost wages, because of an emergent situation, is if you have a shutoff notice. This is how broken the system is. I work over 40 hours a week. And you're telling me that I'm paying into a system that I cannot benefit from? But you want to come on the internet and bitch and complain about losing your free benefits that you've probably been on for 10 plus years on a brand new phone? We are sick of it. We're done. We're sick of it. We don't feel sorry for you at all, because now you're just getting a small taste of what all of us have been going through for years. So here's an idea. Instead of continuing to pop out children that you cannot afford, get a condom and a job, because the average American is sick of supporting you.
So this isn't my normal content, and if you're not interested, scroll. Controversial subject and just unapologetic. If you are somebody who has come down on the folks that rely on food stamps or help from the government, but right now I'm focusing on food programs, right? Whether it's food stamps or whatever your county, city, town, whatever provides. If you've never been in that position, or you have called somebody, well, that's why they're, or somebody who's fat, you've come down on them because they eat like crap. All right. If you're somebody who has looked down upon a mother feeding her kid junk, if you for some reason feel that you are qualified to be a self-righteous asshole, listen up, because this is for you. Did you ever think for a moment these people didn't get handed anything in life? Maybe they did. Maybe they lost it. Maybe they've been handed every difficult thing that's ever come their way. Maybe it's laziness. Maybe it's an undiagnosed medical issue. But here's the trap. Tell me how we end this cycle, okay? Tell me how it's fair. Tell me how it's fair. How are we serving our brothers and sisters? A lot of people, whether they're skilled or not, educated or not, they are fighting to survive right now, especially financially. So you already have people that don't have a lot of extra income, okay? And then, have you gone to the grocery store? Tell me the God's honest truth. Have you ever had to go to the grocery store and worry about feeding your family, whether you're a family of 4 or 5 or whatever, but you only have $12 in your pocket, or you only have $6 in your bank account? Have you ever looked at grocery prices or any food prices from that lens? Have you ever been in that position? Because let me tell you what's not going to make it on your list. Fruits, vegetables, basically anything healthy, gluten-free items, those are luxuries. And if you have been so blessed to live your entire life up until this point and not have ever had to thought of those basic items as luxuries, then you do not get to weigh in on if somebody is fat or if somebody deserves, because it is a vicious cycle. And I promise you, you don't know their story. So I don't care if you have to go back to what hopefully someone taught you in like kindergarten, that if you don't have anything nice to say, shut up. I have witnessed some things today that just pushed me over the edge. I have lived that way multiple times. I know that feeling. I know what it's like to, as an adult who is in charge of taking care of the family, what it feels like to feel hunger in your belly and look at your children and you're not sure how you're going to stretch that $6. And you wish so badly that you could buy them something healthy, that you could afford those berries. I am one of the hardest workers you'll ever meet. You cannot blame it on my work ethic. And it's none of your business what my story is. I should not have to justify myself to you. With anything, for any reason. Shame on you. Shame on you. If I can just get one person to hear me and to think before they say something stupid and ignorant and merciless and ugly, then I don't care how stupid I look crying on the internet right now. You don't know anyone's story. And you know what? At this day and age, I know you've heard that. There is no adult that has gone this long in life and has not heard somebody say, everyone has a story. So you have no excuse. And if you really haven't considered that everyone has a story that you know nothing about, then you need to get out of your stupid high tower and join the real world. Because people are fighting out here. They're fighting to survive. And what if you are the person that says that one last thing that pushes them over the edge? And if you're the person that's got this far and you heard that comment I just made about what if it's you that makes that comment, and you had a response that was anything but loving or compassionate, if you said, well, fine, we're better off without them, or let them, they're weak. If you had any other response than compassion, you are the problem, and you are hurt and damaged way deeper than you even know. Your heart is ugly and cold, but I bet you do know that. Even if you're rich, even if you're beautiful, even if you have grown up with a silver spoon, you know you're ugly. You feel it inside. And I guarantee you probably hate yourself. So 7.5 minutes later, I'll be surprised if 3 people have gotten this far. But I get the feeling that people that maybe have made it this far are probably people who have been in the situations that I'm describing. Give people a break. Sure, there are bad apples out there that abuse programs or lazy or whatever, but you know what? There's bad apples in every slice of the pie. Just don't contribute to it, you know? Be better.
If you can come on this app, beg, whine, and start.
So if someone is not paid a living wage, how can they live? You keep saying in your comment when someone gets into a bind. The bind is life, guy. If your fucking car that you're sitting in breaks down, what you gonna do? You got an extra $3,000 just laying around in case your car break down? Or what if you have a major medical emergency? And you look young, so you probably have bullshit 99-cent ass level insurance. What you gonna do when you gotta start paying shit out of pocket? What you gonna do when that medication you got to take so you don't get gout or some shit, right, costs the same amount as your mortgage? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the groceries is hot as fuck? We're not even adding in people who have children. And you like a bind. The bind is life. It's literally a cycle, right? So you get on the program so that you can get a little bit of help, but you have to make less than the poverty line. You have to be piss fucking poor to receive full benefits. Cause y'all bitching and moaning about people just 45 million people. There are 380 million Americans. 45 million people literally are 2 boroughs of the 5 boroughs of New York City. So out of an entire country, y'all pissed about 2 boroughs worth of people. Think about that. So what bind can someone be in and immediately get out of in under what? 6 months? 9? A year? 4? What is it? Because it is always easy to pop shit about a situation your black ass ain't in. But if you got into a car accident after popping shit sitting in your fucking car, how differently would your life be? What could not be paid in November? Because you hurt bad. You hurt bad. You need help. And you have to pay for it. And so what else in your life is going to have to suffer the consequences of it now that you're in a bind? You keep saying the elderly, the disabled, veterans. Who the fuck you think is on it? See, what you really falling for is the bullshit stereotypical trope of people who are on welfare look like us. And that's a fucking lie. They look more like them. The vast majority of people who receive public assistance in the United States or America are white. Like, y'all saying it like it's so easy for people to first get up and find a job. Didn't you just hear Donald Trump fired the man who tell us about the jobs not a few months ago? Because he ain't like that. We have to talk about Donald Trump because he's the president of the motherfucking United States. He's the reason all of this shit is happening. Remember? The people didn't want to vote for genocide, but then they put genocide in the White House? So please explain to me what the plan is since you got it all figured out and shit. And then what is the age requirement? And are we talking about people who have children? How many children can they have before they get it? Are we adding in religion? Oh, now we stepping on toes, honey. So there are a multitude of dynamics that you have not considered. But please break it down for me. Because, see, it's not only an issue in the United States. It's a world issue at how to figure out how to give people a little bit of help, but not make them dependent on the system, but realizing that they're only dependent on the system because the other system that was created called work is not paying them correctly to do the fucking job, because there is absolutely no incentive for an employer to pay the employee, because the employer 9 times out of 10 is worried about the shareholder, and the shareholders are only worried about, that's right, their pocket. So you're worried about welfare that helps the little man, but not welfare that helps the big man? I just want clarity. So tell me
when on Threads, because I'll be on Threads too. It be juicy over there. You know, sometimes I don't want to watch videos. You know, sometimes I just like to read stuff. So this man gonna say they finna cut off food stamps. All the mothers, it's finna be real hard for y'all and them kids. So automatically they thinking about women, how hard it's gonna be for women. So you not real fathers. You mean to tell me if they cut off your baby mama food stamps, you ain't gonna make some shit shake for your kids to eat? It's so weird, and it needs to be studied the way men want women to struggle. Y'all weird as fuck, and that's why women always fucking prosper. Because even if they cut off the food stamps, ain't no real mama finna sit around and watch her kids be hungry. But a daddy would, though. They get to pick and choose when they show up, when they pop up, when they hop in and out, because that pressure get too hard for them. It's just strange to me how every time I turn around, men, it's like they preying on women downfall and shit. Like, oh, what y'all gonna do with the kids? Make it shake, make it work. They still gonna eat. What we talking about? Not every household has that mentality, but still, I'm just saying, like, y'all, it's sickening. It's weird. Y'all lay down with women, y'all probably really just don't like them. Don't want to, let the world know you probably gay or some shit. Because it's weird, the shit that come out y'all mouth. And then it be men talking about women and they got kids and shit. So y'all low-key want the kids to be hungry. It's weird energy going on. Is this a line? Please don't be a line. I don't got time for no fucking line. And it look like a line.
Somebody get me the fuck off of white TikTok. Like, for real. Get me off of it. I need black people to start commenting ASAP, because I'm over there and them asses are talking about, oh my God, do y'all know SNAP benefits come from us? We give out SNAP benefits. It comes from us. It was created for y'all. The first white person to receive SNAP benefits was what, 1939? And her name was Maybelle, and she lived in New York. And baby, when black folks tried to get it, they excluded the sharecroppers as well. And then white wholesalers manipulated the program and profited off of it, leaving black folks out to the dust. Now, what stopped that shit was the Food Stamp Act of 1964. 64, y'all. My mama was born in 65. So let me get this straight. White people, y'all have benefited off of food stamps longer than any other race in this fucking country. Black folks just got that shit for real in 1964. Hell, we got that before we got our voting rights. And then in the 1980s, y'all got pissed off that we were getting actual help, and y'all started coming up with the trope, the welfare queen, saying black people and black women in particular were using food stamps to get over on the government, leading to increased restrictions and eligibility. Restrictions only harmed low-income people of color, i.e. black folks. As of 2023, 37% of white people in America are on SNAP, 26% are black, and 16% are Hispanic. So who's really living off our shit? Y'all get on my nerves.
Let me tell y'all something right quick. Food stamps, SNAP benefits, all that good stuff, okay? And this is for real. On November 1st or after November 1st, the SNAP benefits or the food stamps that y'all haven't used on your card, they're going to take them back. There may be a possibility that they snatch them back. So use what you got to get what you want. That means take them food stamps and go spend them. I'm telling y'all, everybody laugh about it, but it's serious. Go spend your food stamps, okay? Go spend your SNAP benefits, all right? Spend whatever the government gave you to spend, all right? Do the right thing with it. Save up. Y'all need to start buying off-brand shit. Don't buy Apple Jacks. Buy Apple Rings. Don't buy Fruit Loops. Buy Fruit Rings. You don't buy Dr. Pepper. You got to buy Mountain Pib and all that shit like that. You got to. Because now it's time for y'all to save. Niggas that ain't got a job, go get a job. Niggas that be selling them plates, quit selling them plates. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no food stamps. You can't be selling them plates. Because, see, this is the thing. This is where y'all fucked up at. It's people out here that really need food stamps. It's people out here that really need SNAP benefits. But guess what? We, niggas, we take the government assistance and we use it and live off of it instead of assisting ourselves until we're in a place where we can do for ourselves on our own. So, yeah, that's what's going to happen. November 1st. Y'all better get it right and get it tight. Get it right like Sprite. Don't buy no Sprite. Sprite is high. Bye.
Let's hear her out for a second, because she said people on food stamps are working harder than you.
People on SNAP benefits are working harder than you. They are. Sorry. People who are actively living in poverty and receiving benefits are not lazy or just not working hard enough. I mean, this has literally been disproven time and time again. But even if we're not talking about data and we're just like looking at the basic facts, somebody who does not struggle to pay their rent every month is thinking less about that prospect. People love to act like where they ended up in life is just because they worked really hard. But the reality reality is that all of these people that aren't doing as well as you also worked really, really hard. You just ended up being luckier than them. Or you started out luckier. I ended up where I am today out of privilege and luck. And yes, some hard work. I run my own business. I don't make that much. But I also know that every single month I will have enough money to pay my rent, pay for groceries. But I also know that I am lazier and less hardworking than probably 98% of people who are getting benefits. Wanting people to suffer more because you just think that you did enough suffering is gross.
So what you're ultimately saying is that people on government assistance are working harder than me. And because I got off of government assistance, me personally, true story, I worked hard to get off of government assistance to be able to afford my own groceries and not rely on the government. That makes me just sheer lucky, just out of luck, privileged. Okay, so I'll break this down in a way for your privileged ass to understand, coming from a person who slept in alleys before. Oh, and I'm not speculating that she's privileged. She called herself privileged and clearly has no idea what it's like to actually physically work hard and bring yourself from the bottom to the top. I shared my story on here before, how I used to be homeless. And I used to receive food stamps. I couldn't receive any other government assistance because I was single and I didn't have any kids. And when I was on food stamps, yes, I worked hard. I worked hard to make sure that I made enough money so that I could get off of food stamps. I worked hard to find jobs in areas that would help provide me enough income to afford my groceries, my rent, and other things that I personally needed for myself, even my utilities. Yeah, I worked hard by going to workforce centers, which is actually offered to people in many states who are on food stamps. They gave me free clothes for my interviews. They taught me interview training, lessons, questions. They helped me build my resume, and they helped set me up with job interviews where I went and applied for many different jobs, and over the time period started to build my self-esteem when it came to applying for jobs and sitting down with an interviewer, to where I started getting jobs that were $7 an hour to $10 an hour to $15 to $16 an hour, where I started making commission based every 2 weeks, where I was getting $3,000 just off of commission. Yeah, I worked hard to get there, and I cut myself off of food stamps. Why? Because I was making too much money, and I quite frankly just didn't need it anymore. I worked hard from that moment till today to manage my money correctly, stay out of sleeping in alleys and homelessness, and to actually provide a roof over my head constantly with food filled in my fridge. I don't need the government, and I do not rely on the government for any sort of assistance. You want to know why? Because I worked hard to do that. See, somebody who is relying on government assistance as far as food stamps and shit like that, if you're working harder than me, then that means you wouldn't be on those assistance. That means you wouldn't be on those programs. Because if your idea of working hard is having to stand in hours-long food stamp lines, baby, you could stand hours long in a fucking employment center and get you an actual job that doesn't require you to be on government assistance. The only thing y'all work hard to do is work hard to be poor and work hard to make babies you can't afford. Government assistance is supposed to be temporary, not for your rest of your fucking life. Government assistance shouldn't be your generational wealth. It's not something you should be passing down like it's a fucking house. So yeah, let's not get this backwards and try to make it seem like people on government assistance are working harder than the actual people who are paying full price for their groceries and all their rent and utilities. Because guess what? Those people are working hard enough to make sure that their bills are paid, while you're working hard enough to make sure that you keep your benefits. Which means you can only work a certain amount of hours or you'll be cut off of them. You can only make a certain amount of money or you won't receive your benefits. How is that considered working harder than me? Yeah, so I'm sorry, but miss me with that bullshit. I love when y'all be trying to talk about some people don't have it that easy. They need it. No, they don't need it. They just not working hard enough. You should not be on government assistance for years. A few months, okay. Years, unacceptable. Y'all will do anything to keep your assistance. So if you're gonna say that they're working harder than me, they're working harder than me to stay poor. They're working harder than me to rely on the government while I work hard to pay for everything out of my pocket. While I work hard so you can take my tax money and fund your free groceries.
Let's just be 100% real. You mad because you don't get food stamps. So you've been waiting on the system to shut down so that people who get government assistance can suffer the way you suffer. It's so many videos, people talking about welcome to the real world to those people who get food stamps or live on Section 8, get government assistance. Nobody talking about these SSI recipients who having a lot of babies and registering their babies on SSI to get a check for each and every last one of their kids. But everybody going hard on these food stamps families, as if it's not, food stamps is not based on just single families, mothers and fathers. Food stamps is based on everybody who possibly qualify for them. And you can make $1 over 50 cents over the amount that they require, and you're disqualified. So let's get off this food stamp case. The whole thing is, everybody who is possibly losing their food stamps has a right to be upset, because they would not be upset if they did not need the food stamps. And people keep saying, oh, well, they can go to work. What if they already going to work? What if they already going to work? You don't know. Stop being so judgmental. You don't know if they're going to work or not. You don't know if they are sitting around doing nothing or not. Stop weighing everybody off of the few people who you hold a grudge against because you jealous because they actually get government assistance and you don't. Welcome to the real world. Everybody's living in this matrix real world, okay? However, everybody's struggling different. Ain't nobody comparing the drug habits everybody got in common, rather if you get government assistance or not. Ain't nobody talking about the alcoholism that the ones on government assistance and off of government assistance also have in common. Ain't nobody talking about this. But everybody want to keep on coming up with this basic stuff, talking about, oh, well, they need to go to work, or they need to, it's reasons why people ain't going to work if they ain't got a job. Everybody ain't just sitting around not wanting to work. Everybody ain't making videos talking about, I want to live on the government assistance. That's just silly people that's doing that. They don't make up the world. They don't make up everybody that's on government assistance. Am I jumping into defense for people on government assistance? It sounds like it. But all I'm saying is I'm keeping an open mind, because I've spent $500 to $600 out of my own money, my own check. And my basket looks like I'm a food stamp recipient, and I wasn't a food stamp recipient at that time. So I've spent plenty of money on food stamps, my own cash. So I'm not going to sit here and judge somebody that's getting food stamps and they getting whatever they want to get in a basket. You know, I'm not going to sit here and judge them. But when I was spending my own money on food stamps, I mean, when I did used to buy food stamps from people. And that's also a catch, because I never bought food stamps from a female ever. I've always was able to get $200, $300, $400 something dollars in food stamps from some dude who has food stamps, no kids. This is reality. Like, everybody keep on trying to chop it up, make it seem like, you know, I don't know why these females go online and make these dumb videos boasting about government assistance and their food stamps. You need to really be sitting back humbling yourself, because it's really not a boast that the government is your sugar daddy. And you done got so comfortable on the government that now you pissed off that the government is shutting down on you. Government had a heart attack. Government had a heart attack. Your sugar daddy had his heart attack. Now you need to chill out. Chill out. For all them people that's like, oh, good, welcome to the real world. Why you happy because somebody got to go on the side of the matrix you on? You only pissed because you ain't making enough money to get nothing that you want. You have to get everything that you need. And you still ain't got enough time to enjoy it. You still ain't got enough time to enjoy the things that you have to get. Not even the stuff that you want to get, the stuff that you have to get. You're not even getting enough rest because you overworking. You got 2 to 3 jobs. Just to, this whole system need to go in the trash. But yet you spending your time being jealous of somebody that is struggling on another side of the system. You don't know why they can't work. I just don't know why people really tripping talking about somebody need to go to work. You don't know why that person not working. And that person is not at will to have to explain themselves to you on why they not working. Like I said, a lot of these people sitting around here on SSI. On SSI. They get enough money to be able to afford a living without working. But they not cutting off SSI. Everybody talking about stop having kids. Stop having kids. How we gonna have a future? The people, come on now, the kids that are being born and all that, we hope that these parents are raising them with a different mindset so that we can have a better future. But the people that's in control right now, these people is what got us in our position right now. And then a lot of people talking about, people been on food stamps and Section 8 for generations and generations. That is very true. That's all a lot of families have had to hand down to their children, is to go sign up on there. And if you got a different idea for your life, good luck to you. Keep your faith in God, so that you can get to where you're trying to go. But the only thing that I can hand you is what I've been able to do, which is government. The government been taking care of people for a long time, since the 60s. Or maybe longer. But government changed throughout time, and a lot of dependency really, because it was a certain time that certain people couldn't even sign up on government anything. So when, a lot of stuff that comes into effect, all of this go back into our history. All this go back into history. This government just, is really trash. So everybody done became dependent on the government. And yeah, I'm gonna say everybody, because it's not just about food stamps. You got insurance. Not everybody, come on now. Everybody ain't got health insurance. Everybody ain't paying for health insurance. Come on now. A lot of people got government insurance. A lot of people got, like I said, the SSI. A lot of people got unemployment. A lot of people got, it's so many different government paid programs. It's not just about food stamps. But we as humans like to eat. That's one of our things. We like to eat, People so hateful. People are so hateful. People are so hateful towards each other. It's just really, really sad. People want to see you struggle. People want to see you struggle because they feel like they're struggling. And they comparing their struggle to yours. So they feel like you're not struggling as hard as them because they don't get food stamps. What kind of mindset is that? Like, that's stupid. You don't struggle as hard as me because I gotta actually pay for my food. In Oregon, it's all the same when it comes to the food stamps. In Oregon, food stamps and cash, like, it's no taxes. So whatever somebody in cash spending on food, it's the same as somebody with food stamps spending on food. I don't see why it can't be like that. What do they got going on in Oregon that they don't have to pay taxes on nothing? I don't know. I need to look into that a little more, because that's pretty interesting. Because food stamps just mean the taxes. You don't have $100 to $200 that you rack up just on taxes alone, because each item that you put in the basket got taxes on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I have no idea what she was talking about. She's saying that when she goes to the store, she's paying a lot of money in taxes on her food. Y'all let me know if that's the way it works out. And I like how she came on here and admitted to food stamp fraud. but did not elaborate on that part when she was buying the stamps. And I think that because of that type of fraud and abuse, that is why the system is where it's at now, where we're spending billions and millions of dollars to feed people because some of that money is being misused. And I think it led to the government wanting to overthrow the system. They already, in my opinion, have wanted to stop helping people a long time. And so now that Trump is in office, he's going to do that. He's going to cut off the helping hand that many people have used and abused. But at the same time, there are people who really do need help and do need assistance, that are disabled, are elderly. And just because you're not born into the right family, you should still be able to eat. But as you guys can see from all these different perspectives, that America is very, very divided over this topic. On one hand, like the black man says, go get a job. And like the white woman says, you don't know what people are going through. Everyone needs help at some point or another. So I think the answer lies somewhere in the middle. But y'all let me know what you think down below. Leave a comment. Check these videos out as well. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Share this video with your friends. Join the channel. I'll see y'all next time. Foodie gang gang gang. Foodie gang gang gang.